All right, cassette video for the month. And it has been quite a month. I wish I could say it was all a positive month. I mean, some of it was. Some of it really wasn't for me, but well, that's okay. Yeah, let's start. So, I guess first of all, we'll talk about this Alice in Chains here. If you thought it was an Alice in Chains album, you'd be right. You'd be correct. But if you said it was Jar of Flies, you'd be only half correct. Because if you look carefully, it says Sap as well. I need to look at whether, I don't know, another one of those is sold. I got that one from Philippines, I think, or Indonesia. I'm not really quite sure. And America Before TV. This was, I think, something I alluded to. It is a full day of television, or not television. It's the before television. It's the full day of radio from 1939, from a station in Washington D.C., and it shows like all of the radio. Well, I guess shows is kind of a not quite the right word because it's audio. It's not. There's no visual here, and it's fascinating. It actually, like I've been saying this to people, that, you know, the way they do the ads is a lot like, it's kind of come full circle with that, because in the era of television, there was a real separation between your ads being like kind of separate from the actual people who presented the show. And now on YouTube, you know, you'll have a YouTube presenter who does present something like Incogni or oh yeah, by the way, this video is sponsored by BetterHelp. Just kidding. Yeah, or BetterHelp or one of those, you know, they'll talk about all that stuff, and they'll say, that themselves, as opposed to having somebody else coming on or having a standard commercial like that. So in a way, it's kind of come back to the way we did things in radio for many years. We meaning, I don't know, this country, I guess. And now let's move on to Aphex Twin. Okay, so all of these are new, and I'm going to actually, along with the video, I'm going to post like all of my Aphex Twin that I've gotten in the last 5 years, and then probably try to combine it with the other Aphex Twin that I've gotten. This one is technically, I mean, a bootleg, although it seemed to say it was from the same record company as originally put it out, so it was a little confusing. At least that's how it was listed on Discogs. Here now is the ferric version of Selected Ambient Works. Just got it today. That's the ferric. I already have the chrome. The ferric was a little cheaper than the chrome. If I'd been like aware of it, I would have bought the chrome, of course, for whatever the price was. But they're both worth getting if you like Richard D. James. Here's one. Blue Bad Religion 80 to 85 is yeah, like I had one of these and it didn't play worth a darn, so now I got this one and it played okay. And so that kind of, along with this Stranger Than Fiction has a song that I kind of always get in my head, because the lyrics are like, you know, it's an ending your life song called Slumber Will Come Soon, which it just basically says in the lyrics, if you don't like your life, at least it's not very long. And that's pretty true. I mean, I kind of come back to that if I ever am thinking like, yeah, I wish my life was over right now. I just say, well, it's going to be over really soon anyway, isn't it? In the grand scheme of things. Although, I mean, I don't know, maybe I'll be more miserable. And I mean, I hope I live another like 40 years or so, or 50 would be great. But whatever the case, you know, it's like you got to make something out of your life and try to leave something behind. In my case, it's this music collection and my movies. The problem is there's no evidence that like my collection will be preserved, so I don't know what I'm doing here. And yeah, I'm like one of the things that happened this month was that one of my videos was copyright struck, and that means that the channel's kind of in danger. I mean, I've got all these videos, but whether I could actually repost them somewhere is kind of I'm not really sure. It's kind of a mystery. I mean, really, I should redo everything and combine all the things back together and take pictures and really do it up and rent a real gallery and have a 30-foot wall of tapes would be great. Anyway, these Beatles, Please Please Me, and Beatles for Sale, these are from Germany. Got them from a seller just the other day. You can sell, like, Germans always have like this Electrola thing on it. Oh, focus please. And the blue case is a telltale sign of German cassettes. They usually play pretty well too. The Magical Mystery Tour from Germany was on the Horzu label. Is the first that you can buy of stereo, because the American mix is mono, as we all know. And yesterday and today, look at this. It's a Capitol version, but it's exactly like that box set. In my first video that I ever posted, I was talking about tapes. I got the Beatles. I was so excited about it. The Beatles box from 1970 that never got released. That's worth thousands of dollars, and I was able to get one. And you know, the Beatles were still together, I think, when that box was supposed to be put out. It might have been stopped by the Beatles themselves, or it might have been the record label. Somebody didn't like it. Anyway, this is the tri-window version of yesterday and today, and it's exactly like that. It's not from that thing, but this is the original 1968 cassette of yesterday and today. I believe that's 68. Okay, and then we got Selma songs and Medulla and Vulnicura. I'm not really sure how to pronounce. All from the Philippines versions. I already had the Indonesian version of Medulla, now I get the Philippines version. And it's really neither here nor there. They're almost exactly the same. Black Sabbath from this great seller who I really want to stop posting tapes because he has too much good stuff and I buy it all, and I don't have the kind of money to be buying everything like this. But you be careful. But anyway, he puts out really interesting good tapes. This is Sabbath. 2 shows, I got 2 more, and then Black Flag, both 84. A good year for Black Flag. They've been released from their record label. The Unicorn label had basically gagged them for 3 years, and then they were finally released from that contract and came out with a vengeance and stuff. Bongzilla is from Madison. I actually, the person who produced these, I didn't realize, was somebody who I kind of knew from a drumming group, like, I don't want to say how many decades ago, but it was a while ago, a minute ago. But I mean, who knew that she was going to be like a producer and stuff? There was a guy that came to the meetings named Rocker who would just commandeer them and tell them that we need to turn them into fundraisers and get. And it's like, I'm sure that's true, but I mean, some of us just wanted a group where we sat around and talked about drumming. This is Changes One Bowie, the UK version. Yeah, Bongzilla is a really good Madison band. I saw them live a long time ago, by the way. All right. The Cure Show, Indonesian version. Double Dragon off Nintendo. And then we have like 3 more DCA championships. They end up being like pretty good. It's the top 12. I think last time I said that they just kind of do versions of old drum corps shows, DCI shows, and there's some truth to that. You'll see them, like, I think one of them did the Cadets show from 89, Les Miserables. You'll just hear some echoes of DCI shows because, like, it's just like they're copying those arrangements sometimes, which I get it. Maybe they don't have the Ronnie or something. They're all East Coasters, too. And it's a nice tribute, I guess, to DCI or something. I don't know. Anyway, soundtrack, Faith No More, Judgment in Nuremberg is a soundtrack. It was really interesting because like there's like a lot of talkingness on it, or like speeches type stuff. So that became kind of interesting. The Goonies 2 soundtrack, like it's like a video game though. Yeah, I don't believe there was a Goonies 2, but there was in the video game world. Gremlins 2, there was a movie, but this is again the video game. And if you like play these soundtracks, they really have very little to do with the game. They don't sound like the soundtracks. I mean, Gremlins had a little bit of that Like dun, 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 little overture thing going on. I don't. Oh yeah, Goonies was the Cyndi Lauper song. They worked that in, of course, but they didn't work in the really excellent. Like one of my favorite soundtracks is the Goonies orchestral score, and I've heard a few soundtracks. Sisters soundtrack. Yeah, I don't remember that being too interesting. Let's see, passages. Yeah, Air Fortress is a video game. Metallica '86 was all right, like better than I don't know, more enjoyable than I thought it would be. Yeah, Metallica was still a great band back then. Night of the Living Dead soundtrack. And then we got Ninja Gaiden. Nirvana, this is the Silver 2017. I finally got around to listening to it. I've had that for, I don't know, at least 5 years, maybe 10. These three Nirvana are live shows that were, again, put out by the same guy that keeps putting out stuff that I'm like, stop doing it because I keep buying it. But like, there are three live Nirvana shows. Good to have, I guess. I've got like so much Nirvana. Oh my gosh. I've got the best Nirvana collection in the world, and the best Aphex Twin collection in the world, and the best of a few others. Like the Refused, for example. Well, actually, and somebody has like their really early stuff, they could have better, but I've got everything they released beyond the early demos. And in fact, I got one of the early demos. So, The Shape of Punk to Come is something that I've been waiting for. Some dude on Facebook always claims to have had this, but it was never put out. Like what they had was the 3 songs from this, which I also have, by the way. It's just a really fun record. I don't know what to say. I mean, it's so goofy, but it's like it's got some riffs that are great. I can't say much for the lyrics. It's almost like let's take over the world and tear everything down and start over. Well, you know what's going to happen if that were to pass? I mean, nothing good. I mean, it'd be like a nuclear war, really. You really think that, like, you know, the governments of the world are going to allow you to try to take over? That, I mean, I don't know. Have you thought about it, or are you just kind of in your fantasy land? Robocop, Nintendo. Yep, Robocop versus Terminator. Did I not? I guess I haven't. Yeah, these are fun, again, video game soundtracks that really, like, they work in the original Terminator theme, kind of, so it's fun. Terminator T2, Judgment Day, yeah. There's really no difference between these two. I'm not sure why he made both of them. They're both the original video game soundtrack collections. They both have the same things on them. But when you get to, like, the Sega stuff, it's actually pretty good music. I mean, in fact, all of it's enjoyable music and good music, but the Sega is like passable almost as like music. Truman's Water coughing forth just such dilemmas. Like, I'm sure a lot of people who would hear Truman's Water would just think they're just screwing around and making a bunch of silly noise, but there's something to it. You know, it's like if you got 3 people together to make this kind of noise and stuff, it wouldn't come out right or good. It would come out lame, you know. So there's something going on with this band where they are good at what they do. That's all I'm saying. I'm glad to have that. And then almost finally, the Velvet Underground Peel Slowly and See. This is something I loved. I had a copy of this back in like 95, and I loved it. I remember when it came out on CD, and my friend lent it to me, and I listened to it. I didn't make a copy of it, of course, because I would never violate trademark or anything like that. But I feel like, well, you know, I'm supporting somebody here because now I can just get rid of that silly dub, because I've got the original now, at least the promo version. Sold me legally, right? I mean, I don't know. Discogs, maybe you want to crack down on every promo thing. No, I must own it legally, and therefore, I don't know. It doesn't matter to have like a bunch of tapes that you dubbed when they're no longer, as far as I'm concerned, now they're blank tapes because I've got the original. Good. And I've never been about like, I'm going to dub something because I think the sound quality is better. You miss out on the artwork, and frankly, tapes all sound good anyway. They're okay. That's not true. But anyway, Metroid is the last one. Metroid 2, actually. Well, I think I probably had more to say during this. I wanted to, I kind of went past some things. Maybe I might want to talk about Richard Pryor or something. I don't know. I like Richard Pryor. I liked him in Superman 3. Silly movie, but hey, that was good. I like the silly Superman movies that don't take themselves too seriously. I mean, to me, that's fine. Okay. Well, I guess hopefully I'll see you next time. I'm gonna have to this is all my listening for the month. This is what I listened to this month, and I feel like I'm gonna have to slow down quite a bit and work on my movie now. And the next things are not gonna be this high rock kind of or loud rock kind of stuff. We're not gonna do that anymore. I think I'm gonna focus more on, for various reasons I don't want to get into. I'm going to focus on quieter Bollywood music and Indian classical music. It's just good because I'm almost really out of this sort of thing unless I get a whole bunch more. But that's all right. I mean, it's really good because I got to focus on my movie anyway. Okay, see you next month. Thanks for watching, all 7 of you.